各位好，这里是 A 级妖怪，今天我们接着来玩凤凰城。凤凰城的文本还是很有意思的，它有一种非常明显的小说的形式感。在对话的部分，频繁的使用他说、他说到这样的表述，比如说 he said, she said， 就是跟别的视觉小说直接引用人物的对话相比，它进一步淡化了这种即时的对话的互动性，反而是增加了一种书面化的感觉。这样的组织方式就使整体来说它的文本小说感就更加突出。好，我们得到的线索不多，目前只知道一个101，然后在站台上应该是没有其他的线索了，接着去别的地方探索一下。特地让我爬上来，就为了让我看这个啊！这个101是不是指特定的频率？也不是。看来可能这个收音机确实没什么用。
towards me. Rebellious streak in her. She should be chewing gum. What are you? She asks. I tell her I'm a reporter. A dog chasing her tail, she says. What's a reporter without news? I'm not sure. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says. One of many confusing conversations here. My interlocutor can volunteer information. My information doesn't quite reach them. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says.
好像这个 NPC 就不会再提供更多的信息了，可能还要往里面逛一逛。这个地方好漂亮。
Picture of health. Lean limbs, clear skin. I'm stretching, he says. So I see. The secret is to extend past your standard range of motion. There is a binary between mind and body, other and self, matter and form, sacred and profane, imaginary and real, chaos and cosmos. He goes on. The man can talk, but not listen, apparently. Chaos and cosmos, other and self, imaginary and real, matter and sacred and profane. He goes on, the man, but not listen.
行，这里全是特别能对外输出观点，但是不听人讲话的 NPC， 我明白了。
I could look at it all day.
这个地方我也可以去看影片。
The rocking of an addict outside the clinic. I don't recognize the melody she's humming. I ask if she's okay. She shoos me away. You're making me forget the tune, she says. You're making me forget the tune, she says. Disheveled, begging for attention. In the city, he'd be feeding pigeons. He inquires first. What happens when you place a mirror in front of another mirror? I don't know. Some kind of infinity. You have two mirrors, he says. The thought tickles him. He giggles. Don't know why I expected wisdom. Maybe it's the tree. He giggles. Reporter's hunch. Some of these.
这个吐槽就还蛮好笑的，就说这个看上去这个样子，这个人就不像能给出什么富有智慧的答案，但我居然还认真的去可能思考了他那个两个镜子的问题，然后还认真回答了，最后果然是他的答案很让人无语，然后就在吐槽自己，我为什么会期待他能说出什么像样的人话呢？是因为这棵树吗？
filled with rotting fruit, stacked head high, pyramid-like. That won't help me learn more about it. It's a stretch.
感觉这应该是这边的核心的，就是最后可能如果有仪式或者要进入什么别的地方，应该就在这里。但现在我还没有足够的线索进去。
Makes the place what it is. Various stages of rot. Strong fermented smell. Leaning like he's lost his balance. I know that stance. I was a real butcher, he laments. A proper rat, apex creature. He burps and retches. I'd gut your office, he says. I'd strip the premises. Even sniffed out a font that saved money on ink. Enjoying the fumes a bit too much. Enjoying the fumes a bit too much. Makes the place what it is. There are better places to reach it. Ancient furnace. Hasn't been fired in a long time.
看起来像个干燥窑或者是烧制什么东西的锅炉之类的。
I know you, he says. Used to read all your articles. Sounds more like scorn than flattery. Under his breath, he calls me a traitor. Did I hear him right? You either live your culture or destroy it, he says. There is no in-between. Puzzling train of thought. Non sequiturs. Irrelevant answers. I notice a pattern.
我发现我们这个女主角她经常会时不时的自己在旁边吐槽，像刚才就说这里所有的人都有一种让人困惑的思维模式，然后逻辑都很跳跃，而且给你的答案永远都不是你问的东西。
Not sure how. Red-eyed, hands and face blackened by coal or ash. Is she okay? Can I help? I'm sorry, she says, like a child who disappointed her parents. What for? I don't remember, she sobs. Can she tell me anything about herself? Anything that could help? It's like it doesn't print, she says. I have all this knowledge in my head, but it doesn't print correctly. Someone around here asked about Leo Dormer. Does she know him? It's possible, she says without much conviction. I don't feel great about pressing her, but this is crucial. It backfires. She breaks down. I'm going under soon, she says, and I can't remember my own name. I can't remember my craft. I can't even remember what I look like anymore. She's the best lead I have so far. I must jolt her memory. I describe her features. Slender frame, shoulder-length hair. No, she protests. That's all wrong. Is she safe here? Anyone to speak to? She shrugs. I have no idea. Any pointers? Initials? Nothing. What does she mean by craft? She answers with another question. Why did they have to make the words so ugly, she asks. I'm unsure what she means. They replaced my instructions, so I had to burn them, she explains. That's why I don't remember, she says. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. Where did she burn them? Why? Why, she asks back. Why did they make the words so ugly? The topic confuses and upsets her. Goes nowhere. Okay, I should take it easy on her. Manual weaving machine. I don't know how. Pedal powered. Turns fibers into thread. Fireless. Fine selection of garments, yet so few choose to wear them. Not bathing as much as caressing the surface. How's the water? If you float long enough, she says, the body mistakes gravity for motion. Sounds risky. To incubate means to lie down, she says. You should try it. Grotesque carvings, distorted features. Wooden, rustic.
那个人的手做东西会是面具吗？
A mask maker? Could be her work. I'd like confirmation before I submit it to her. Too easily confused. Finding her instructions could help. Won't find them there. Miniature versions of the cabin I'm standing in. They're identical, even in their defects. Not in use. All I can see is soot.
诶，他的那个被烧掉的这个指令虽然不在这个笔录里，可能在别的笔录里。
Doesn't lead anywhere, and I don't need it. For grinding grain. Flour and greyish paste. Both rock hard and breaking down. finely ground, speckled with ashes. This one's for baking, full of ashes and charred crust. The instructions aren't in there. Clay pots, frothy liquids and powders. I wonder where the source is. Deep in thoughts, unclothed. 2 fingers on his left wrist. He's monitoring his pulse. Health concerns? He presents his artery as evidence. I anticipate an anomaly in the data, he says. Stiffness in the hinges. Fever to cook the mind. This heart never stutters. He sounds almost let down. The only unknown, he says, is your influence. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Correct, he says. None of us should be here. He asks to be left alone. Even healers need healing, he says. He asks to be left alone. Even healers need healing.
我想要再去找别的房子里面去看别的这个火炉堆，但是有一点点迷路了。
Monk-like. I sense impatience, though. He asks why is it so hard to get a straight answer these days. It's all disjointed here. I tell him I've just arrived. I can't trust anyone, he says, moping. Those trees by the river, they weren't there yesterday. Another sock puppet spewing out nonsense. The grass is disgusting, he says. I'll have the servants remove it. I used to tell my sister to tuck the cables under the desk. Keep the ugly buried. All that plumbing, all that machinery. He repeats that he can't trust anyone. Bright red, but with a green smell. Herbaceous, mint or dill. I would need a good reason. Eccentric posture, stroking petals as if coaxing an alley cat. Her patience only extends to the flowers. She shushes me with full force. They won't blossom before the moon, she says.
这个树也是个被烧了的树，我们去看一下树里面有没有。
The girl, she tried to burn her instructions. I should find them. The tree has been set alight. Repeatedly, it seems. But no instructions. Won't find them there. Could be her work. I'd like confirmation before I submit it to her. Too easily confused. Finding her instructions could help. Not in this one either. What are you? She asks. Still a reporter. You're right, she says. People don't change. Not sure I agree. Look who's talking, she says. Sanitary clothing, surgical mask, skull cap. The eyes are remarkably lifelike. The plinth has been defaced. I can make out the last 3 letters. E-O-N. This one's a lonely limb. No markings on the plinth. So peaceful here. A headless builder brandishing a trowel, another vandalized inscription. What remains are 3 letters, S-O-N. Anonymous figure, clutching scrolls or blueprints of some kind. Her again. What are you? She asks. What about? She scans the trees. Me, I'm secret police. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says. Her work. I can't tell if it's an alphabet. Mathematics? It's bigger than that, she stammers. The girl. She needs help remembering things. I'm trying to, she says, pointing at her work. Freshly made, drying in the breeze. Full of water, floating fibers. Vacant stare, just sitting there. I don't see anything in there. I clear my throat. I will answer, he says, as if handing out gold. How do I tell what someone is supposed to do? Nature takes substance and makes a horse, he explains. Melts it down for a tree or a person. I am nature, he says. Carbon dated to eons. Can he help me help her? Sculptors must see from all sides, he says. Like time, we remove more than we add. Very close to talking about himself in the third person. Can he reproduce someone's likeness? Prompts him to gush about himself. His art, his process. Says he birthed every rock here. The dust calls him by name. That'll do. The work, he says, will be unrivaled. An art form that doesn't have a name yet. Good luck to him. Carved stone slabs, towering painted figures. Makes the place what it is. Her reflection in the water. Worth trying. I have an idea. Will she follow me? She hesitates. Yes. I lead her to the water. What she sees in there horrifies her. What are you? She asks. I play along. Why is this? My superior was so boastful, she says, bragging about her 50 years of experience. With all due respect, I told her, sounds to me like you've had 1 year of experience 50 times. I bet she didn't like that. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says. I run my hand through paper-thin cinders. There is also paper in there. Erdnach. Step 1, illegible. But that must be the instructions. I mentioned the word. Erdnach, she repeats, relishing the clacking consonant. Erd, she explains, was meant to sound harsh. In that context, it meant cooked or baked. Nach, she continues, was a shape. Rectangular, to be precise. So, a baked rectangle, that would make sense, she smiles.
烤鸡的矩形，烤鸡的矩形不就是砖吗？那我应该去看看它那个 village 里面的干燥窑，或者是那个看起来烤东西的那个地方。
Would be right for baking, but it's empty except for crumbled bricks. Although, rectangular, baked. Is that what I'm after? Bricks. I should check with the girl. Does she know how to bake bricks? 77% mud, she recites. 19 sand. 4% straw. A glint of recognition. Gratitude, even. I bake bricks, she affirms. I build bridges that break. Mason is the name I was given here. That is my craft. She's beginning to remember. I approach with caution. She senses my presence. I was promised so much, she says, but it doesn't print. Remember the tower, she asks. 50 pods per floor, she says, maximum occupancy. The fire escape was a monstrous spiral staircase. But then what? She's lost in her reverie. Won't say anything else. Snake-haired machine. Clinical imaging device. Repurposed to produce sounds. I don't know how. Doesn't feel like her, and yet the letters match her name. The trowel makes sense. Is that the same person? Let's see if it awakens anything in the girl. I talk and he appears to listen. Never utters a sound, but my words do get through to him. Does he know what the statue used to look like? His fingers dip in the sand. Elegant, clean strokes. He answers with a portrait. Is that the same person? Now his finger rises towards a white moon. The light changes. One of those night skies more solid than the earth itself. He's done here. never get to show her the portrait. The ritual begins. A mechanical march. I know exactly where it leads. The heart of the oasis.